श्रवण से पूछो तो क्या चेक करो लाइट एक बार श्रवण को भेजना मेरे पास कैसे लो
कॉलेज को एडवांस दिया जाता है।
हाँ
पिछली बार 21 लाख दिए थे इस सेमेस्टर में, इस बार बढ़ा के 25 कर दिया टोटल। ठीक है, सभी को 20-25 बढ़ा दिया। ये बात तो दिखाने के लिए लाया था। अच्छा बोल लिया वो पहले ऑफिस नोट लिख के सीट की बोल
आपको जैसे है फाइनल पे साइन कर देता हूँ दोबारा अगर फाइनल पर साइन कर देता हूँ।
हाँ हाँ तो एक बार मैं दिखा दूँ 4 लाख बढ़ाए मैंने फिर बिल ज़्यादा ही आते हैं सर इसलिए
ऐसा करो हाथ चेयर लेकर बैठ जाओ मेरी चल रही मीटिंग अर्जेंट हो तो ये अंदर आने देना आप चलो जरूरत पड़ेगी तो आप यही रहना मैं बुला लूँगा आपको हाँ एक बारी लाइट तो बंद हो गई ये लाइट के चक्कर में हेलो ब्रैकेट में करो चिपकाने की बटन ऑन कर चिपकाना ब्रैकेट में करो ये नाम लाइट पर देखिए लाइट पर देखिए इधर आ रहा है श्रवण
Good morning, everybody. Today, I would like to welcome our speaker, our guest, Professor Dr. N.K. Gupta. He is the Professor of Plant Physiology as well as the COE, Controller of Examination in Jobner, Rajasthan. Professor Gupta is having the vast experience in the field of the agricultural sciences. He has published various research papers, books, and represented India nationally as well as internationally on the different platforms. Today, we are lucky enough, it's our privilege that Professor Gupta is going to talk about climate change and food security as per the lessons from the pandemic situation which we are facing nowadays. So everyone is aware this is happening in India as well as in abroad, or we can say every part of the nation, or every part of the world or the globe. So whenever we discuss about the food security, it is very much critical issue as well as very much vulnerable related to the food. So today, Professor Gupta is going to talk about that. With these words, I would like to welcome Professor Gupta to deliver his lecture in the form of webinar. Professor Gupta, now over to you, please.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving me such opportunity. And can I screen share? Can I share the screen?
Yeah, if you can speak more loudly, that will be better because the voice is somewhere suppressed.
Okay. Hello. Now it's okay.
Better, far
Yeah.
better than the earlier.
Okay. 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 Then climate change is a big issue. So first of all, can I share my
Screen.
slides?
Yeah, you can share. Just a 1 minute.
Just
Now you can share. At the bottom there is a share screen. So click on the PPT.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything is fine.
Yes.
So the title which I have been given is the Climate Change and Food Security, Lessons from the Pandemic Situations. Actually, what is exactly going on? The temperature of the climate of the earth is increasing. If we see this graph earlier in pre-industrial area, this was the situation of temperature, and nowadays it has increased to 0.8% in 150 years. And likewise, this is atmospheric carbon dioxide. You know, carbon dioxide is an input for the plants. C3, C4, and chem plants, all they use the carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis. But the concentration of the carbon dioxide is also increasing, and in pre-industrial area, in 1980s, it was about 300 ppm, and now it is expected that it has reached to 400 ppm. Likewise, this methane gas is very important uh, factor in the climate change, and because of this rice field and our ruminants, the concentration of methane is also increasing in the environment. This nitrous oxide, which is released from the nitrogenous fertilizers, whenever we are applying the nitrogenous fertilizers in the soil, some amount of this gas is releasing. And CFC, you know very well that CFC means the gas which is released during the refrigerators and cold storage we are using. So all these factors, that is temperature, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and CFC, carbon fluorocarbon, they all are increasing the concentration, and which is causing the climate change. So what is the climate change? Climate change is the combination of increasing the concentration of these gases. If we see the contribution of different sectors in increasing these gases, emission of green gases, then we can say that our energy sector is contributing maximum, that is 65%. And the contribution of agriculture in this greenhouses is merely 18%. And if we subdivide different sectors of agriculture, we see that 50% emission of the gases is through the process of fermentation. The rice field, they contribute 18%, and agriculture soil and microbial activities, they contribute 23%. So because of our agricultural activities, the emission of the carbon itself is going to enhance by 420 million tons per year. So all these factors are creating the climate change. Because of this climate change, we are facing disasters all over the world. And I would like to give some examples, like in Europe. Europe is famous for as a cold country, but because of this climate change in 2003, there was heat waves in the Europe. And you will be surprised to know that in Russia is a cold country, but because of this climate change, unpredictable heats are going, and in 2010, nearly 550 people were homeless, and they left their homes because of the heat waves. If see the reverse conditions, Switzerland, there was a huge flooding, in the stadium and in 2005, and this is was considered as the impact of the climate change. If we talk about the India, you see the Leh in 2010 there was a cloud burst in Uttarakhand. Tragedy everybody knows because of in 2013 tsunami is very known. So all these factors, all these disasters were the outcome of the climate change. If we see the impact of agriculture, impact of climate variability on agriculture, we can see that sometimes it happens that there is lodging. At the time of maturity, there are heat waves. There sometimes they are untimely dropping of the mango. Wheat crops in Haryana was affected by the heat waves at the time of maturity. So all is going to happen untimely, unexpectedly because of the climate change. So we have to think why climate change is important to learn, to mitigate, and to fight against this climate change. See, the agriculture productivity is directly or indirectly affected by climate change, or we can say global warming, reduced availability of water, and increasing salinity. All these factors. So these factors they are affecting our all the life, maybe human health, maybe infection of diseases, productivity, biodiversity. Every aspect of life is being affected by this climate change. Then come to food security. What is food security? Food security means every people should get the food in sufficient quantity, in safe mode, and it must be quite nutritious. So as per the World Summit held in 1996, food security means we must ensure availability of food, accessibility of food. Every person should be every person should be as have accessibility to the food, and it must be better utilization and stability means at all the time food must be available. So we see the Indian situation, we are not very in a good situation as far as food security is concerned. India ranks at 97th position, and actually frankly speaking we have failed to meet the millennium development goal of having the protection of people, proportion of the people who suffers from hunger. We have done some developments, but still the incidence of malnutrition has dropped only marginally from 210 million in 1990 to 194 million in 2014. So we have to think in this in changing global situations how we can fight against the hunger, how we can feed our people with nutrition and can assure the availability food to, for every person. So why food security is important in this era? Because already the if we talk about the India, 226 million people are undernourishment. You know the population of the world is 6.2 million, and which is going to enhance to 9 million in 2050. The, we have the land is shrinking and population is increasing. So we have to feed this increasing population by the available land. So we have, second is the water resources. The water resources of India are reducing day by day. And if we see in last 25 years, we have reduced the water resources, and by 2025, it is expected that our resources will reduce to 40%. And because of this increasing population, the demand of food is expected to enhance by 70%. So the question is how the scientific community, how the farmers, or how the government should prepare to feed this increasing population by available land. So how the climate change will affect the food security. This climate change affects every part like our crops, livestock, forestry, fisheries, everything is affected by climate change. If we experience the climatic situations in summers. Sometimes we have high drought situations, heat waves at the time of maturity. In case of monsoon, sometimes we experience the floods, heavy rains, and more important is the irregular rainfall. I will show you how irregular rainfall is decreasing our crop productivity. In winters, sometimes the commencement of winters is late and we feel severe cold, which affect the germination and growth of the plants. If we discuss about our animals, the milch cows, they are losing the milk production because of the cold waves. The poultry's egg yields goes down. Similarly, the fisheries also goes away. So this climate change is affecting our foods, crops, as well as livestock. And ultimately, the people do not get the food. That is the question. This is the situation of groundwater. You know, in Indian situation, 54% of India faces high to extremely high water state situations. If we talk about the Rajasthan, every year our water table is going to 40 centimeter, and in the state, only few districts are having the moderate water availability, and most of the districts of the state has reached to most critical or critical stage as far as water availability is concerned. So because of this untimely rainfall, unequal distribution of rainfall, our cropping pattern is disturbing. Earlier, we are having good area for the pulses, but nowadays, because of the changes in the rainfall pattern, the area of pulses all over the country is shifting towards cotton and soybean. Because of this climate change, the temperature is increasing, and it is expected that by 2030, there will be a significant losses in our yield because of this high temperature. See, this is the situation in temperate and tropical condition. This is a normal situation. If the temperature is increasing day by day, our crop will reduce in this way. And if we compare temperate and tropics, the tropical crops will be more affected. So this is a very serious situation for us. This is the work conducted by Bharadwaj et al. This is a normal situation. If everything is normal, we get this type of yield. This is the crop duration and grain yield. But if there is any deviation in the temperature, by you see by every zero point 0.1 degree centigrade increase in temperature, there we are losing the crop duration, increasing or decreasing the temperature. And this crop duration at the time of the maturity is very important. And the decreasing or increasing crop duration at the time of maturity in a crop ultimately results in the decrease in the grain yield. This is the situation of wheat. Same situation, if this is the normal situation and if there is any deviation in the temperature, maybe plus or maybe minus, ultimately it affects the yield of the crop. So it is expected that if the temperature increasing in the same rate, there was a scientist, Wadla, he studied the effect of high temperature in wheat at the time of reproductive phase. He concluded that after 34 degrees centigrade rise in temperature, 1 degree and increase in temperature can lose our yield by 2.5 quintal per hectare. So you see where we are going. Mere increase in the temperature can decrease our yield to a significant level. So this is a study that if the climate change is going on in the same rate, we can reduce our yield by 15% in 2015 and 20% by 2018. Same in case of mustard. Mustard is very important oilseed crop, and we are going to lose the yield by 25% in 2050 and 50% by 2080. Rice, another important crop, both irrigated and rain-fed rice, we are going to lose our yield, and the impact is more on rain-fed rice. And audience must know that India is having 60% rain-fed rice. And if the temperature is increasing at the same rate, we are going to lose 12.5% yield in case rice by 2080. And here the impact will be lesser, but around 10%. So the question is, we cannot control this climate change. The temperature, CO2, nitrogen, everything is increasing because of human activities. What is the reason of this climate change? Urbanization, deforestation, industrialization, pollutions, our luxury life. We are using cold storage, refrigerator, AC, everything we are using, and from these cold storage, CFC gases coming out, which is increasing the climate change, global concentration of the CFC, changing food habits, changing lifestyles. So these are the factors which are responsible for climate change, for greenhouse effect. But who is the most affected? Poor people. These are the farmers, poor people. They have minimum contribution in greenhouses, but they are most affected. If we see the pandemic situation, COVID-19, poor people, our laborers, they are most affected. The persons who have the minimum contribution in greenhouses, they are most affected. This is a bad story of this climate change. So what we should do? I told earlier that it is not possible to fight this climate change alone because it's a natural phenomena. So we have to think to fight this climate change at on level, community level, government level, as well as farmers level. So there may be what we should do. There are two strategies: mitigation and adaptations. Mitigations means, can we develop ourselves to cope up with changed climatic situations. Adaptations means, can we develop the things by scientists or by government so that this greenhouse cannot affect our food and production or our living habits in the change scenario of the climates. So mitigation, very difficult, not easy or not sufficient. Mere mitigation cannot solve the problem. Second option is adaptation. Adaptation, scientists are doing all efforts to adapt, to develop the crops which can adapt the stress situations, which can adapt under the climate resilient situations. So the best way, which I suggest, that we have to make a combination of mitigation and adaptation. And this mitigation and adaptation is called the climate resilient agriculture. What is the meaning of adaptation? Adaptations means we have
Sorry, Professor Gupta, for interrupting you. Actually, I am getting some message from the student. If it is possible, can you speak somewhat Hindi, because they require, as you know very well.
Okay.
And another issue is, sir, we are having now almost 8 minutes, and after 8 minutes, we will log in with another ID which has been given on the post. So we are having with this session for 8 minutes. Okay.
I have to continue after the second login, or another person?
Then the second ID. Then the second ID.
No, second person will continue. I will continue that.
Pardon?
This second ID, I have to continue, or another resource person will continue?
You have to continue. You have to continue.
Okay. So adaptation and mitigation, those situations हैं. Adaptations scientist level पर होगा, and we have to breed the crops which are tolerant to heat, tolerant to drought, flood or salinity. Mitigations means farmers labor. We have to enhance the fertilizer use efficiency, energy use efficiency, and water use efficiency of our existing crops. And alternatively, we suggest that farmers should go for to change the cropping pattern, new crops, new technology, or an ICT. So a combination of this plethora will make to convert our farmers into a climate resilient agriculture. So here I suggest that what the government should do to combat this climate change scenario. First of all, the government should take a measures to increase the rural wages. They should work for reducing gender wage gaps, reducing distress migrations from rural areas that we have already faced. पोस्ट पेंडेमिक में क्या सिचुएशन हो रही है, हमें सब पता, लेबर किस तरह से भाग रही है, कितने सिचुएशन बनी है, उन सब के लिए सरकार को अच्छे मेजर्स लेने पड़ेंगे. नीड फॉर मोर इम्पैक्ट असेसमेंट स्टडीज. ग्लोबल क्लाइमेट का क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है, इस ढंग की स्टडीज अभी भी हमें जरूरत है. सेकेंड थिंग है लॉन्ग टर्म रिलीफ मेजर्स इन द इवेंट ऑफ नेचुरल डिजास्टर. नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स के लिए हमारा जो IMD डिपार्टमेंट है उसका पूरा एक नेटवर्किंग होना चाहिए. अब गवर्नमेंट को स्टोरेज के लिए, वेयर हाउसिंग के लिए, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए एक लॉन्ग टर्म स्ट्रेटेजी बनानी चाहिए. फार्मर्स को क्या करना चाहिए? फार्मर्स इज द की. इंडिया में अगर क्लाइमेट चेंज से हमें लड़ना है तो फार्मर्स कैन बी ए की फैक्टर. दे कैन प्रोवाइड द फूड to all the nation even in the change climatic situations. So these are some strategies which I will elaborate later on. First of all, climate resilient crops. We have to develop a technology so that the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. What farmers can do? Farmers, we should select early maturing cultivars so that they can complete their life cycle before commencement of the crop cycle. They should use the tolerant varieties which are tolerant to heat, tolerant salinity. In case of management studies, they can study 4-5 years of the weather pattern and they can change the sowing time of the crops so that the crops can mature before terminal drought stress, before the infection or attack of the diseases. Another option क्या है कि आजकल नई नई क्रॉप्स भी हैं. जैसे हम बात करते हैं स्मॉल मिलेट्स, दे आर कॉल्ड न्यूट्रास्यूटिकल क्रॉप्स. सिंस दे आर क्लाइमेट सेवर क्रॉप्स एज वेल एज दे हैव हाई न्यूट्रिशन वैल्यू. तो फार्मर्स कैन गो फॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ क्रॉप. और इस तरह की जो क्रॉप्स हैं कम पानी चाहिए उनको, सैलन वाटर में रह सकती हैं, और अगर गवर्नमेंट मार्केट उपलब्ध कराए तो फार्मर्स को दे कैन अर्न बेटर इन द अवेलेबल रिसोर्सेज. जैसे एग्जांपल है एसेलिया. इट्स अ सिंपल क्रॉप, हाईली टॉलरेंट टू ड्रॉट सिचुएशंस. एंड तुम्बा डेजर्ट में खूब होता है. ये मतलब ये कम पानी में भी लग जाता है. इसके अलावा सैंड ड्यून्स के स्टेबलाइजेशन में काम करता है. ये ग्रेन एमेरेंथस जो कि आजकल काफी पॉपुलर हो रहा है. तो फार्मर्स को इस ढंग की क्रॉप्स की तरफ हमें मोटिवेट करना चाहिए. सेकंड, एग्रोफॉरेस्ट्री. एग्रोफॉरेस्ट्री मीन्स we have to make combination of agriculture and tree crops so that the CO2, nutrients, all these factors can be utilized in a better way. And the crops, they can develop a microclimate condition that can favor both the annual crops as well as the forestry. Conservation tillage, no-till farming. This is also gaining importance, and some agronomists, they are suggesting that सॉइल से अगर हम मिनिमम छेड़छाड़ करते हैं तो वाटर कंजर्वेशन की सिचुएशन ज्यादा बनती है. इंटीग्रेटेड फार्मिंग सिस्टम. Nowadays the concept is gaining popularity and farmers, they should have different components of agriculture so that they can have the minimum risk. अगर इस तरह की सिचुएशन है तो वो अगर क्रॉप खत्म हो रही है दूसरी क्रॉप पे वो सर्वाइव कर सकता है. ज्यादा सिचुएशन खराब है उसके बाद साथ में एनिमल कंपोनेंट भी है, मुर्गी पालन भी है, फिश कल्चर भी है. So all it can help to survive if the situations are not in his favor. Last में crop खत्म हो गई है, he can survive on the animal sciences also. This is the very known rainwater harvesting structures in Rajasthan and in desert conditions. Farmers are using, and government is providing the subsidy. So this type of structure should be prepared. Micro irrigation, very known. आजकल माइक्रो इरिगेशन के साथ साथ में फर्टिगेशन का भी चल रहा है. और अगर हम उसके साथ ही खाद लिक्विड फर्टिलाइजर अगर हम देते हैं तो वी कैन सेव 25% फर्टिलाइजर एंड कैन एनहांस द यील्ड बाय 65%. इस ढंग की स्ट्रेटेजी है. तो हमें किसानों को इन ढंग चीजों के लिए प्रोत्साहित करना चाहिए. अब क्वेश्चन आता है साइंटिस्ट क्या कर रहे हैं, जो उसमें स्ट्रेटेजी थी एडेप्टेशन स्ट्रेटीज। एडेप्टेशन सबसे पहले अगर हम बात करते हैं तो एट ICR लेवल वी आर हैविंग ए मित्रा प्रोजेक्ट वेयर the farmer, the scientists, they have 23 institutes involved all over India and different disciplines के scientists involved हैं, and they are doing the study how to breed, how to develop the crops or technology which can help in greenhouse situations, green this climate change situations। हमें फ्यूचर में किस ढंग की क्रॉप चाहिए, किस ढंग की टेक्नोलॉजी चाहिए, इस सब पर वो वर्क कर रहे हैं। ये देखिए एग्जांपल मैं देता हूँ, ओपन टॉप चैम्बर्स, these chambers they are double wall chambers and they are being used to study the CO2 enrichment, phase technology, 3 atmospheric CO2 concentration। I told in the beginning that in the pre-industrial area, the concentration of CO2 was only 280 ppm, which has now increased to 360 ppm and expected to reach to 400 ppm। CO2 का जो concentration है, अगर ज़्यादा होता है, तो अगर आप जो प्लांट साइंस के स्टूडेंट्स समझ रहे होंगे कि CO2 फोटोसिंथेसिस पे इनपुट है, अगर कंसंट्रेशन CO2 का बढ़ता है, it's a beneficial for the C3 plants because it's a input for the photosynthesis। चार जो फैक्टर होते हैं, वन इज द CO2। तो इस ढंग की स्टडीज कर रहे हैं कि डिफरेंट क्रॉप्स में किस लेवल तक CO2 इंक्रीज करने का फायदा हमारी क्रॉप्स को मिलेगा।
Sorry, Professor Gupta. Actually, within 1 minute it will be closed automatically. So we will join again after that. So till then, you can carry on, please.
ओके, तो इस ढंग की इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फैसिलिटीज देखिए डेवलप की हुई है। ओपन फील्ड में अगर CO2 कंसंट्रेशन बढ़ाते हैं तो क्रॉप्स पर किस तरह का इसका फर्क पड़ेगा। ये हमारे इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है जिसकी वजह से हम क्रॉप में वेरिएबिलिटी मेजर करते हैं। दी वाटर पोटेंशियल, ऑस्मोटिक पोटेंशियल, वाटर कंटेंट, फोटोसिंथेसिस सिस्टम में एट एनी टाइम वी कैन मेजर दी फोटोसिंथेसिस, ट्रांसपिरेशन, रेस्पिरेशन per minute per unit area per second। This is soil water potential। So all these instruments are being used by scientists to develop some strategies, to develop some technology, to screen the crops which are better suited under climate change situations।